Now at 10, art gives voice to the LGBTQ experience at the Cornell complex in Joplin. Plus, Webb City High School powers up a new curriculum this year with the introduction of esports, and new power flows into Neosho as the city unveils a charging station for electric vehicles.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A new art exhibit opened this evening at Joplin's Harriam Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The exhibit showcases the perspectives of the LGBTQ community. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has the story.
Art has always been a way to bring people together. It makes us ask questions. It allows us to submerge ourselves into completely different worlds. And for many, it allows them to express who they truly are.
It's honestly really nice to see that our community is getting support in places like this, regardless of, state lines or geography or anything else. We're all part of one community. We're all gathering to be here. So I think that's actually just a really nice thing to see.
James is a 20-year-old art student from New York. To say the least, Midwestern Missouri comes as a bit of a surprise.
Honestly, I was very shocked that the show was happening in Missouri. And maybe it's a North thing that you kind of hear how bad things are down here with legislation and stuff like that.
However, it doesn't stop this community from engaging and expressing who they are through some incredible pieces of artwork.
Well, it's important, especially in today's climate, that people realize that they're not only accepted, that they're celebrated. And by looking at gay artists' work and being proud of them and being happy for them, and we even have prize money, too. So it's just something that needs to happen.
I think who I am is just who you are. It's living your truth. It's loving who you are. It's waking up every single morning and realizing that you can be yourself. And it just doesn't matter who anybody thinks. It's being able to express yourself through art, or through music, or through any kind of art medium that you choose.
For James, a self-portrait is the best way he can express who he is.
Again, representation I think is really important, and other young artists looking and seeing art that is queer and proud of it, I think is really important as well.
Reporting in Joplin, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
That exhibit's going to be at the Cornell Arts Complex until September 30th. Boy, a beautiful evening and day out there. Let's check in with meteorologist Sam Lane.
All right, thank you very much. You are absolutely right, Dow. It's been a beautiful couple of days across the area with temperatures way below normal. Starting out this morning with lows in the 50s and 60s. And then this afternoon we warmed them to the upper 70s and lower 80s, which was still way below normal for the middle part of August. And right now we're looking at temperatures falling down into the 60s, like at Stockton was 64, same thing in Pittsburgh, 70 in Chanute. And as we go into the morning hours, we're going to see those temperatures dropping all the way down to the mid 50s by tomorrow morning. And with that, we're going to see the possibility of some dense fog developing, especially in those areas that got quite a bit of rainfall, with visibilities around 5 miles in some locations, but then it'll be burning off by mid-afternoon. Looking down the lane, we have a cool night tonight, wonderful Wednesday, a slow warm-up, and then an extended dry period, which I'll tell you all about in just a bit.
See you soon. An Iola drug investigation leads to the arrest of an Allen County man and woman, and authorities say Boyd uncovered some disturbing discoveries. Authorities filed possession charges against Jace Ingham and Kimberly Mahoney, but a search of the house also led to the discovery of 3 children living in what authorities describe as deplorable conditions. Feces and urine believed to be from animals covered most floors, and the house was infested with cockroaches and ants. Investigators say all 3 children were unkept and visibly unclean, one appearing malnourished and extremely underweight. The children are now in protective custody. When Webb City High School students return to school next week, they're going to find 6 brand new classrooms. One of them, a $50,000 esports edition. The room will be used not only for practicing electronic sports, but also for classes like coding and programming. As the fall semester starts, the school will recruit students to join their team. They plan to compete in both regional and state tournaments. School officials also expect the facility to help students with their futures.
Also teaches a lot of teamwork skills. It's not just kids playing games. There are a lot of soft skills that are involved. There's a lot of communication involved.
Really, they do gaming, and it's competitive gaming. They learn a lot of soft skills too. They learn how to play together. They learn competition. They have to work collaboratively for the success of their team. So there's a lot of good things that come from gaming.
According to the school district, 204 schools in Missouri are currently involved with these sports. They also say that because all the competitions are online, there's no need to travel. 4 staters considering getting electric vehicles now have a new charging option. Liberty Utilities today held that ribbon cutting for a new electric vehicle charging station. The chargers support any plug-in electric vehicle and offer 24/7 driver support and monitoring. This represents the first installation in Liberty's Ready to Charge program. The EV charging stations are in downtown Neosho for easy access to and from Interstate 49.
These are slower. They're not necessarily those fast charge in 15 or 20 minutes. So this does give folks some time to, walk the park, shop, eat, and really enjoy Neosho.
Liberty's Ready to Charge program launched in October of 2022. Fair season is in the area, might be nearing an end, but the Interstate Fair and Rodeo in Coffeyville, Kansas is in full swing. Competitors today showed off their pigs and cows and rabbits and sheep and more. One seasoned exhibitor we spoke with has some advice for up-and-coming exhibitors.
If you want to do it, definitely try your hardest. If you are in school, get with your ag teachers. They'll definitely help you out. There's lots of people here that'll help you out. You just got to ask around. Probably the hardest part is just getting to know what you're doing, but once you get the hang of it, you're good.
That fair continues through Saturday with more events, including a carnival, monster truck rides, and a demolition derby. Coming up, the West Nile virus is confirmed in Oklahoma. Plus, Show Me state lawmakers sign into law a bill that would allow college athletes to profit from their own image.
Service that carries your free estimate today.
Oklahoma reports its first cases of West Nile virus. That's according to the Oklahoma State Department of Health. Human infections have occurred in central, south central, and southeast Oklahoma. Over the last month, evidence of West Nile virus activity has increased across the state and is now considered to be widespread. Health experts say to help battle that mosquito-borne illness, use an effective insect repellent and try to prevent standing water around your house. These 3 survivors of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre are said to be ecstatic by the decision from the Oklahoma Supreme Court. According to documents, the court has decided to consider their appeal. The 3 filed an appeal to challenge the July dismissal of a lawsuit they brought against the city of Tulsa. They sought compensation from the city for the hardships their families endured when their homes were burned down during the massacre. In the appeal, all centenarians are asking the court to allow them the opportunity before they die to tell what has happened to them. Missouri Governor Mike Parson today put a spotlight on the Show Me state's new law allowing college athletes to profit by their names, images, and likenesses. He dropped by Faro Field in Columbia for a ceremonial signing of House Bill 417. The legislation loosens restrictions on NIL earnings in Missouri. It allows high school recruits to profit from NIL deals once they sign with an in-state college. Also, coaches and school officials will be allowed to attend meetings between student athletes and third parties where an NIL deal is negotiated. Parson says the bill is a game changer for the future of college athletes in the Show Me state.
I think this is a cutting edge piece of legislation the legislators did. All of them are involved, Curtis, Carla, everybody that worked on this. You got to pass these things. It's one thing to have an idea, but you got to get across the finish line. I think that's why this is so important, that we're setting the stage for other athletes all across this country.
The signing is a timely one as Mizzou football just landed the nation's consensus top defensive recruit in Williams Winneri from Lee Summit North High School in Jackson County. The Missouri governor today also spotlighted legislation intended to position Missouri as a national and global logistics leader. At a ceremonial signing event in Columbia, Parson once again put his signature on House Bill 4, the appropriations bill that includes the $2.8 billion earmarked by lawmakers to expand I-70 to 3 lanes in each direction across the entire state, from suburban St. Louis to Kansas City. Columbia was just one of several stops by the governor for that ceremonial signing. Mark Slavitt reports.
Governor Parson first asked the Missouri legislature for $860 million to pay for the Interstate 70 expansion project. State lawmakers pushed the plan even further to a $2.8 billion project. The governor held a ceremonial signing of House Bill 4 in Columbia, which provides the money for the project.
It's going to be much safer to drive I-70, but the economic impact this is going to have to be able to get product up and down the road, and then the opportunities businesses are going to have to bring in along the interstate. There's going to be some new opportunities there.
Parsons says the project will ease congestion on the heavily traveled interstate between St. Louis and Kansas City. A lot of stretches of I-70 in lower populated areas only have 2 lanes in both directions right now. Project supporters say 3 lanes in both directions across the state will help prevent accidents and save lives.
It's not only going to help Missouri from Kansas City to St. Louis, it's going to help all of the United States as much traffic as comes through our state, and we're really excited and looking forward to the 6 lanes across our state.
I-70 is obviously the artery of Missouri, and it comes right through the middle of Columbia. And so any improvements that can be made to us obviously helps out our community, both during construction and then also for years to come.
Governor Parson says construction on the Interstate 70 expansion project will begin next summer. Parson says the entire project is going to take 6 to 7 years to complete. A little later, a long-time animal shelter in Missouri celebrates a milestone anniversary.
And it felt like fall out there today, but summer's going to be making a comeback, and I'll tell you all about that when we come back.
Casino.
Well, it felt more like September out there instead of mid-August, and you know they say all things must come to an end. All good things must come to an end. That includes the weather. We have beautiful conditions out there right now, but let's start out this morning at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. As we go through the day, you can see lots of blue skies, and then as the afternoon progressed, we started to see those cumulus clouds, those fair weather cumulus out there. And then once the sun went down, those went away, and we were left with a beautiful evening across the area and a beautiful sunset. We made it up to 80 degrees today after starting out at a cool 60 degrees, which was below the normals, of course, of 91 and 68. We're above normal on the rainfall for once for the month, but for the year, we're still about 8 inches behind, so we need some more rain to kind of catch up on the drought situation. And right now, there's no rain to be had anywhere across the 4-state area, and it's going to stay that way for several days. But at least we have the nice temperatures, 64 in Stockton right now, 65 in Nevada, 63 already in Iola. That just kind of gives you an idea of where we're headed tonight. We're going to see temperatures dropping down into the 50s, and that's because these dew points are also in the 50s, and that kind of gives you an idea of where we're headed for the overnight lows, as the temperature cannot fall below the dew point. But right now we're looking at dew points very, very comfortable out there. In fact, refreshing in some locations. Right now in Joplin, we're sitting at 68 degrees. Northeast wind at 3, dew point at 58, so the humidity is currently at 70%. Rain chances are not to be found for the next 36 hours, pretty much 0 across the area. And that's all because we have a big ridge of high pressure that's going to be building over our area as we go through the rest of the week and into the weekend. And that means the storm track is going to lift to the north, and the summer-like weather is going to return along with the humidity as well. But not tonight. We have very nice conditions with lows in the 50s and north winds, so enjoy that. And then tomorrow, another nice day with temperatures in the low to mid 80s, a little bit closer to normal. And then as we go into Thursday morning, lows will be generally in the mid 60s with westerly winds. And then Thursday afternoon, we'll finally be back to normal with temperatures around 90 degrees, especially in southern Oklahoma and also out to the west. And then as we go into Friday morning, lows will be generally in the mid 60s, and then temperatures are going to be warming up pretty rapidly as we go towards the weekend. 90 on Thursday, 92 on Friday, and then Dow, unfortunately, we get close to 100 again as we head into Sunday with a high of 98. But then we start dropping temperatures down just a little bit as we go towards the latter part of next week, and we also increase the rain chances as well. So not too bad for mid-August, certainly.
Yeah, certainly not atypically hot.
That's exactly right. Well, hopefully we'll keep it that way.
Thanks. The Jasper and Newton Counties chapter of 100 Women Who Care donated $3,700 to the Area Agency on Aging. Money is going to go toward the Meals on Wheels program and fund some add-ons such as fresh produce and paper products and other essentials. Currently, participants receive one daily meal with milk and bread.
That's not a lot when you're thinking about that. That's supposed to last them a week or two, a meal per day. So these add-ons are just going to be these little extra things that they need.
We just get together for 1 hour every quarter, listen to a charity, and vote on that charity, the one that tugs our hearts. And then we write a check, and we're done.
100 Women Who Care donated more than $50,000 to local organizations since starting the Jasper and Newton Counties chapter. An animal rescue shelter in Joplin celebrates a milestone. The Golden Paw Pet Rescue celebrates their silver anniversary this year. They've been a friend to man's best friend in Joplin for 25 years now. That's a lot of grooming and pet adoptions, but for one of the shelter's founders, the years have flown by.
25 years has gone by so quickly and so wonderfully that I'm ready for another 25. I don't know if the Lord's going to keep me here that long, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Golden Paw Pet Rescue is at 2300 North Main Street in Joplin. Still ahead, the Royals and Cardinals each try to start a winning streak, and Pittsburgh High School football is counting down the days to its season opener. John Dales has those stories and more for us coming up.
Hetty has earned the NWA seal of approval
for making us the best.
High school football season in the 4 states, well, it's in full swing. Missouri and Oklahoma schools are a week and a half into practice. Kansas schools just began taking the field yesterday. That brings us to Pittsburgh this afternoon. Coming off a trip to the state quarterfinals last season, the Purple Dragons, they're emphasizing what their head coach Josh Latimer refers to as DAT, discipline, accountability, and toughness, and a brand of football that other teams just don't want to play. His group is counting down the days to show that attitude against an opponent.
We got 17 days. We've counted it down. We got it on the board in there, and we play Emporia. Emporia Spartans, we go up there to their place, and they got us last year, so we owe them. They beat us in overtime on a field goal, and I think it's driven the boys to be able to push themselves this summer.
It's awesome. We've been working throughout the summer, and we've been working hard in the weight room, getting stronger, and we've been running and getting our work in there. We're very excited to be back on the field, and we're ready to play. We're going to be pretty good. We've had a new offense started last year. We ran it very well, and this year we're just going to be 10 times better. We're going to have more plays, and we're just running the same plays over again, and we're going to look good.
And Missouri Southern makes some news this afternoon. They announce a new class of 6 inductees into the MSSU Athletics Hall of Fame. Now, that features 5 former student athletes and 1 donor, also known as a linebacker. The 5 former student athletes will all get inducted on October 28th of this fall. They start with Danny Jones, who was a 7-time MIAA champ in women's track and field. Nikki Nill, another name who will be inducted. Top goal scorer in women's soccer program history. Harold Noir Felice, the greatest running back in program history in football. Kaney Taylor, who holds the record in wins, shutouts, saves, and goals allowed as a soccer goaltender. And then Brandon Williams, program record holder in sacks, tackles for loss. Then Bill Martz is that donor who has been attending Lions games since the mid-1970s. Major League Baseball, Royals and Cardinals, both winners last night. They each stayed home tonight, both of them trying to start a couple of winning streak. Royals playing just straight up inspired baseball right now. Last night, they scored 2 in the 9th to come back and win. This evening, they trailed 7-0 after 4 innings, but slowly chip away. Bobby Witt Jr. hits a grand slam. KC scores 3 in the bottom of the 9th just now to tie it up. Salvi Perez had the RBI single to tie it. Game's headed to extras as we speak. Things much better for the Cardinals, though. They have a favorable matchup against The worst team in Major League Baseball in Oakland, they lead 6-2 in the top of the ninth. Redbirds get a very good start out of Dakota Hudson. He goes 6 2/3, strikes out 3, and only allows 2 earned runs. He's in line for the win. Cardinals winners, and I was ready to come on here and say Royals, played well but don't get the win, but look, they haven't given up, so.
Yeah, whatever happens in their Royals game, the fans are getting their money's worth.
They are.
Tonight, apparently. We'll be right back.
Ashley's Labor Day preview is going on now. Hero.
Here's a helpful tip for you. If you're ever on the go and you still want to be able to watch our newscast live, and why wouldn't you? All you have to do is download the KOAM Plus app. It's really simple to do. It's available free of charge on the Apple and Google Play stores, also on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. You can watch your newscast, your favorite newscast, right there on your phone, anywhere, anytime. Just search for the KOAM Plus app. Yep. Well, the weather has been beautiful, Sam.
Absolutely gorgeous. I think everyone's happy with the temperatures that we've been seeing. And tonight we're going to be seeing temperatures in the mid-50s. And then tomorrow, a high of only 82. Wow. And then we get back to normal on Thursday and Friday. And then summer-like as we head towards the weekend. Hopefully we won't hit 100 for the rest of the summer, but right now we're going to be in for a stretch of very dry weather for the next several days.
You've been pointing out that you opened up your window last
That's
night
right.
and let in some of that refreshing
Absolutely,
air.
sure
It's a
did.
good
Going to
opportunity.
tonight. Yep.
It's a good plan. Final sports note.
Pittsburgh State Athletics has everybody pretty excited. They just announced that tomorrow they're going to have an announcement. So we don't know exactly what that means, but tomorrow something special could be coming.
Teasing us with the announcement of an announcement
Yes.
to come. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget our morning show, 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.